Good evening. I know that it's very dark down here, and I said that I wouldn't do any. Well, I didn't say I would never do any more videos down here for Head Injury Jane, but this is just my little nook, and I am comfortable down here. I have some really, really good news. I was accepted into the Colorado Brain Injury Program, the Brain Injury Alliance, and I'm very thrilled about this. This is going to help me. This is one more step. And when I spoke about reaching out, this is this is where I'm reaching out, looking for help, and it's we are must advocate for ourselves. Sometimes we can't. Sometimes I do have days where I have difficulty communicating, and I sound probably like a mad woman. And there are many days, like these last few days, I've actually been very lucid and very cognitively tight, very good, and I'm thrilled about that because when you do slide into headiness and impairment, there's just no, it could be an hour, it could be a day. The last time it happened, it was over a week. I was in it for over a week, week and a half, maybe it was a couple weeks. I didn't, I'm just now starting to understand this. So, like I said, it's really important to be patient with yourself. When you are experiencing, for me personally, and I'm just learning, so please understand, I am just on the journey and I'm bringing you along if you're watching these. Um, I had no idea that you could experience, see, my tongue is weird. Oh, I think my tongue is always weird now. You could experience headiness, and it could last a day, it could last a week, it could last a month. And so I think this last, what I'm calling headiness, okay? The last headiness that I went into, I think it was a couple weeks. And see, I am so new that I didn't realize that there's an ebb and a flow for me, and everyone is different. Now the ears are constant, right? The ears are constantly ringing. I actually have pain in my head more often than not. That's just, I call it phantom pain. I don't know. I'm just in the process right now of getting inside of the head and trying to understand what's happening. So this piece of news scared me. It was a device over there, and I don't exactly know what that just did, and it just scared me. I don't know if you just noticed how startled I was, but this Brain Injury Alliance is fantastic. I am so thrilled to know that I'm going to have help and resources further in the community if I need them. And I imagine there are going to come time when I need them. It's just like when I reached out to the support group when I needed them, and they were right there and they reached back and they sustained me. So this is the kind of stuff that sustains and helps um, traverse this new mind, the new mind. It is a bit scary, but like I said, the last couple of days I've had a really good day. I do feel a little cognitively impaired this evening. But I think it was because I had something that was actually upsetting happen today. My doctor's office had let me know that I was approved for a CAT scan through my insurance, and that was on Monday. And on Tuesday, I set the appointment, and they just happened to be open, and they were like, "We can get you in." And I was like, "Let's do it." And today, I get a letter from my insurance company. Hold on, that was the television. Okay. Got a letter from my insurance company that said that they did not approve. So that really upset me. I was like, and I was trying to talk to my insurance company, and I felt like, that I was like I wasn't, I guess I was just kind of panicking in a sense, because I take that personal. If I had received the letter yesterday, I would have never gone to the appointment. I would have respected and then appealed or did whatever that was necessary to get the CAT scan. But I already received the CAT scan, So my doctor's office had told me that it was approved, and they set, I called them and they set the appointment and they ran it through. And I spoke to two women on Monday who told me that it was approved. And I spoke to two women today after I got the letter. I was calling them up and I'm like, um, I, what's happening? And they were like, oh yeah, you're approved. And I'm like, so I called, to try, and get this straight, but it was too late. But in either case, that's something I'm going to have to take care of tomorrow. And there are days like that when something like that happens, you do feel a little challenged, it kind of threw me off because I feel like it's an important matter and that I trusted my doctor's office to, I found out from the insurance company that they were notified on June the 10th, and electronically the doctor's office was. So I have no idea why they told me I was approved and sent me to have the CAT scan. I don't know, but they did. And I already had the CAT scan. It's like, okay, I don't know how this is going to go down, because I would have never had the CAT scan had my doctor's office not told me that I was approved and set up the appointment and sent me to get the CAT scan. So that's a little frustrating. Things like that can be entangling to the mind, only because, but I, like I said, I've had a great last few days and I just can't complain. I can't. I mean, that's got me a little unnerved, obviously, because I think it's a very costly medical process, and I know because the doctor told me I was approved and set the appointment and sent me over there that I think this is going to fall on them. I think, but who knows? They could say, oh no, bottom line. But I asked I said, how are they notified? And can you tell me if they were notified? And can we prove that they were notified? Because I should have never been sent to get the CAT scan. So, well, I should have. I need an MRI, I imagine. But maybe those kinds of tests too at this point are useless. I'm not certain, because what damage is done could just be done, And so I'm willing to accept that as well. I don't want to create a lot of stress around this head injury, any more than necessary, because when the headiness does come on and when I do slide into issues with it, that I struggle so much in that place that when I'm not in that place, I want everything to be like light and hearty and just all the good that this world has to offer and all the beauty. And so I have been cognitively strong for the last few days. And I'm so grateful for that. Like, I'm just now learning the ebb and flow. So I'm now understanding that there are triggers, things that can happen that sends you into the headiness, but then that you do come out. You can come out. And see, I know I had expressed many times over in those videos where I was just breaking down and crying, where I was fearful. And I think a part of me will maybe always be a little bit fearful about this. I think it's good to have integrity in the realization of certain outcomes. But I was concerned that I could slide into this headiness where I become so cognitively impaired and not come out. And that's terrifying. But you can't live in fear of that. That's why I'm so excited that I've been so cognitively strong in the last few days. I'm like, yes, I feel like my old self, except for the constant ear ringing, and obviously there's pain in the head, and there's some stuff that goes on that, that's pretty unfortunate. I have problems with my vision. I had my eyes examined by an optometrist when I was expressing that there was loss of vision in my eyes and loss of hearing. Sure enough, I've had high frequency loss of hearing in both ears. And of course, the ears ring continually, which is very maddening. And the memory, of course, that's just an ongoing thing too. The short-term memory, that it's just an ongoing thing. So there are things that are continually in everyday life. But when I feel sharp and I feel like I'm able to express myself and communicate, and I feel, not in the headiness, I don't know. It's undetermined. But I do think that we should appreciate the moments when, like I've been for the last few days, where I feel so good. I feel absolutely magnificent. And so in those moments, I just want to embrace life. I feel so good when I can walk out into my little garden and see all the little new, but yeah, the very thick tongue. I guess that's going to be a new thing too, because I've never, ever, ever had any issues with speech. I have hundreds and hundreds of videos before the head injury where I'm just like flying. And now, of course, there are speech issues. But yeah, going into the garden and seeing all the little blossoms and buds on my honeydew and butter. Is it butter? I know there's tons of crookneck squash. I have pumpkins, butternut squash. I fell in love with butternut squash last year, and I've decided to grow it this year. So just seeing, you go into your garden, you see such a hearty, healthy garden. That makes me feel really good, because that's work. I'm putting work into it, and I reap what I sow, like we all do. So, but I want to tell you, I'm so happy about the Brain Injury Alliance, because I think that is such a resource. And so I do recommend that you do really seek out your resources in your community, in your region. Reach out and express your needs, and if you qualify, or if the program is right for you, get in there and take the support, because we're going to need all the support we can get. But anyway, you guys have a fantastic Wednesday evening. Take the greatest of care, and please watch your heads out there. Be safe. Again, inside your own home is no more safe than anywhere else. So again, just think about your head when you're doing things, and just be safe. Take great care. Good night, you guys.